I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
That was Donald Trump speaking before a tiny crowd in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, talking about the way he looks and claiming he looks better than Vice President Kamala Harris. This speech was an utter disaster. You see the crowd clearing out early. What else was Donald Trump talking about, you ask? Well, he started to claim that President Joe Biden hates Vice President Kamala Harris. Folks, this was so unhinged. Play this clip.
Complains. Hey, look. Joe Biden hates her, okay? Hates her. You don't mind if I go off teleprompter for a second, do you? Joe Biden hates her. This was an overthrow of a president. This was an overthrow. They went out, I spent $100 million fighting Joe Biden.
Then Donald Trump just started whining about what happened to President Biden. Play the clip.
We're going to fix every single problem. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Crooked Joe. What happened to Biden? I was running against Biden. All of a sudden, I'm running against somebody else. It's true. It's interesting. I said, who am I running against? Harris. I said, who the hell is Harris? You don't know. Who the hell is Harris?
Donald Trump then goes on to say, am I rambling? People are going to say I'm rambling. I'm not rambling. Play the clip.
I heard the other day, and this isn't anything, I'm just saying, they'll say he was rambling. I don't ramble. I'm a really smart guy, really smart. I don't ramble. But the other day, anytime I hit too hard, they say he was rambling. Rambling? I get up and I make a speech. I go for sometimes 2 hours, 2.5 hours, because, people are waiting outside for 3 days, 4 days. You guys were waiting out there for a long time. Front row Joes are waiting out. I don't know how you guys do it. And I feel I have an obligation to speak and speak in a certain way and speak a little bit longer. How would you like it? A guy's waiting with his family for 3.5, 4 days. They have a tent, and the tent is set up. They have hundreds of them, and they wait. And then I walk in, speak for 15 minutes and leave. I don't know, somehow. Would that be okay, North Carolina? I don't think so, right? They want me to speak all day,
Donald Trump then starts to mock Vice President Kamala Harris's laugh, and he repeatedly calls her a lunatic for laughing the way she does. Play the clip.
People say, be nice. Have you heard her laugh? That is the laugh of a crazy person. That is the laugh of a crazy. It's the laugh of a lunatic. Have you heard it? They prohibited her. They prohibited her for laughing. I've been waiting for her to laugh, because as soon as she laughs, the election's over.
Donald Trump then claims Vice President Kamala Harris is now banned from laughing.
She hasn't done anything, but she's prohibited from laughing. They said, your laugh is horrible. Never laugh, ever. So she's walking around with her mouth like almost sealed shut. She won't laugh. I want her to laugh. And then we'll just claim victory. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you very much.
Now, if you're wondering, when is Donald Trump actually going to talk about policy? He isn't. This is how he spent most of his time in Wilkes-Barre. It was a disaster. What is this? When can we all just simply say this is not normal? We're saying it here on the Midas Touch Network. Then Donald Trump starts to whine about Vice President Kamala Harris being on the cover of Time magazine. Play the clip.
Time magazine. Think of this. Time magazine doesn't have a picture of her. They have this unbelievable artist drawing her. And I said, is that Sophia Loren? I couldn't. Who might that be? Is that Elizabeth Taylor? They say she was a beautiful woman. Who is it? It's so beautiful. Drawing. It's a drawing. They took a lot of pictures. It didn't work out, so they hired a sketch artist. I said, I'm sure, they must be celebrating the great life and times of the magnificently beautiful Sophia Loren.
Here's the full clip where Donald Trump says that he's much better looking than Vice President Kamala Harris. Fact check, completely false and utterly deranged. Play this clip.
Okay. She called it wrong. She's called it wrong now for about 8 years. But she said one thing that got me. She said, Kamala has one big advantage. She's a very beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. So I decided to go back and reread the clause. I'm not saying he's, but I say that I am much better looking than her. I think I'm much better. Much better. I'm a better looking person than Kamala. No, I couldn't believe it. She said, you know, I had never heard that one. They said, no, her biggest advantage is that she's a beautiful woman. I'm going, huh. I never thought of that. I'm better looking than she is. In her speech yesterday.
Then Donald Trump starts to brag about TiVo and what a great device TiVo is right now. Play the clip.
I had to play it back. You know, I love the playback controls you have nowadays. They used to call it TiVo. Now they have TiVo. I think it's the single greatest invention. It's better than television, because television would drive you crazy if you couldn't do a playback, right? Now I can.
Donald Trump then calls the right-wing Supreme Court courageous for overturning Roe v. Wade and says that there must be consequences for anybody who criticizes the Supreme Court. Play the clip.
They won't have enough. And by the way, how courageous were our justices of the United States Supreme Court? What they did, they're saving our country. They're actually saving our country. What they've done is, I mean, they passed things that were so important, and they did it for the right, not for the wrong. They did it for...
Donald Trump then threatens the United States with a depression if he's not elected, and he goes, enjoy it. Enjoy your depression. I mean, a complete sociopath here rooting for a depression. Play the clip.
With 4 more years of Kamala, your finances will never recover. They will only get worse. They're only going to get worse. The stock market... And you have some of the most brilliant people on Wall Street saying this. The stock market is only up because they think I'm going to win. And if we don't win, according to many people, including one of the greatest Wall Street prognosticators named Scott Bessent. Has anyone heard of him? One of the most brilliant guys on Wall Street. If I don't win, you will have a 1929 style depression. Enjoy it. I believe that. I believe that. I believe it.
Then Donald Trump just repeatedly says our country is going to die over and over again. Play this clip.
And just as Daniel and others have said, I mean, our country's going to die.
As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, says, I really hope enough Americans are sick and tired of this sad, boring, negative, whiny loser that they won't want to listen to this, and even worse, for the next 4 years. Then Donald Trump says he should be reimbursed $100 million for Vice President Kamala Harris now becoming the Democratic nominee. Play the clip.
We don't have any McCain Republicans in here, do we? All right, if you want to get the hell out.
Kari Lake would divide Arizona, banning abortion even in cases of rape and incest, endorsed by white supremacists. Kari Lake.
Get the hell out.
Find your perfect stay on the Booking.com app. A hotel in the city.
And we're leading by a lot, even though we now have to run against somebody. Think of it, I spend $100 million? Now I have to run against somebody else. Is that fair? I think they should reimburse me for the $100 million. Who wants to collect? Does anybody want to go and collect? I'll get front row Joe to collect.
Then Donald Trump says something about Barack Hussein Obama, no longer a dog whistle, a dog bullhorn. Play the clip.
Even though he's been there for years, his father was there for years. I just want to ask, it's very important because we want to turn our country around. We need to get great representation even beyond the presidency. And this is a dead seat. It's a seat that voted with this group of people, Barack Hussein Obama and Biden and her, because she was a part of it. You know,
Then Donald Trump claims that climate change isn't real and that it will, if anything, just help him get more beachfront property. Play the clip.
The oceans will rise 1/8 of an inch over the next 400 years. But they don't talk about a madman that's building nuclear missiles right now. That's your real global warming. It's not this. Your global warming is war. Your global warming is going to be Nuclear weapons, nobody talks about that. They don't ever mention it, but they talk about an ocean that's rising, which will give you slightly more beachfront property if it happens. Now,
Folks, I could keep going on and on. You get the point. This was unhinged. This was, I don't know, perhaps the biggest meltdown yet that I've seen, but this is not normal. This is not okay behavior. And I don't know about you, but I'm pissed off at corporate media normalizing the crap that we just watched. What we just watched is not normal. It's pathetic. That individual should not be anywhere near a position of power, yet alone our nuclear codes. I'm Ben Mycelis. This is the Midas Touch Network. Hit subscribe. We need to get to 3 million subscribers this month. It's free to subscribe, so share this network with friends, family, coworkers. Also, check out store.midastouch.com. We've got great new merch there that's selling out like crazy. Check it out, store.midastouch.com.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram @MidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.